Emma Jones here, and what if I told you that 99% of people growing their business online are actually doing it wrong? I know because I was one of those people, but I've now grown to a six-figure business online. I've generated over 35,000 quality leads. I've been a stay-at-home mumpreneur to my two girls since 2015, completely created the lifestyle and freedom that I wanted. And I've coached thousands of people to do the same. So are you ready to learn my strategy to grow your business online the right way, attract high quality leads and close way more sales? Let's dive in. Okay, so this is the 3 steps to consistently grow your business online, attract high quality leads and increase your sales. And we're going to crack the social media code to generate consistent leads and sales for your business. So first of all, this is how this 3-step formula actually changed my life. Back in 2012, when I was a high school teacher, which actually seems like a lifetime ago now, I kind of first stepped into the entrepreneurial world and I started my entrepreneurial journey in the network marketing space. So I joined my first network marketing company back in 2012 and I built a large team of over 600 distributors pretty quickly. At the time, I remember thinking I had it all sussed out, and I really was ignorance on fire. And most of this growth came from close friends and family, and a lot of it was word of mouth. And this was also back when, it really wasn't that popular to build your business on social media. In fact, it was frowned upon. However, in 2014, I lost it all when the company I was in at the time, it just flopped. It had like its official launch in the UK, which is where I'm from, and it just flopped. And as quick as my team and business grew, it fell. And this is the phase where there was a lot of work. There was a lot of time spent building this, and I was always trying to figure out how to build my business online because I knew this is where it was at. So even though I kind of lost my team at the time, I was always trying to figure out how to build my business online. And in late 2014, I joined my second network marketing business because I just wasn't getting any results anymore with the first business. And I thought the grass was greener on the other side, and maybe the answer lay in moving to another company, which wasn't the answer, by the way. But it was because I had completely exhausted my warm market. I'd burnt through my lists. And I simply was now at a point where I was annoying friends and family with my posts on social media. I kept going after the same people all the time, hoping to get a different result, hoping that they wouldn't say no this time, but that they would say yes. And this was when I quickly realized I need fresh people. I've run out of people to speak to. No one was interested second time round. And I just remember I just seemed to be hitting obstacle after obstacle in my business. School mums avoided me at the school gates. And I just faced constant rejection. And honestly, I also lost a lot of confidence in the industry, a lot of confidence in the business, but more importantly, confidence in myself. And that was hard to come back from. But in early 2015, not long after having our second child, I actually nearly quit the industry altogether. I nearly actually gave up on my dreams. And I always remember that day so clearly, the feeling of rejection from another mum like avoiding me at the school gates. And I just reached the end of my tether. And I remember thinking, Emma, it's just time to give this up. It's time to throw in the towel and walk away. But I also remember thinking at the time, oh my God, I'm about to throw years and years of hard work away here. Is this really what I wanted? Yeah, is this really what I want? So later that day, I came across an ad on Facebook that actually had me hooked. And it spoke about an ebook and a skill called attraction marketing. And I bought the book and I then continued from there to invest in myself. So I didn't give up. There was still like a shred of me that, there was still like that little flame and fire burning inside of me that didn't allow me to give up on my dreams and quit. So I bought the book from that ad. And then that was just like the start of me really continuing to invest in myself from there on with mentorship, courses, tons of personal development, and above all, putting everything that I was learning, that I was being mentored and that I was investing into, putting it into practice, actually taking action. So I was so proud of myself for not giving up, that there was still that flicker of fire burning inside of me that said, no, Emma, you're not giving up on this. And the rest really is history. In June 2015, I started implementing the skills that I was learning and this 3-step formula into my business. And less than 5 months later, after doing that, I quit my job as a high school teacher. I've never returned after my maternity leave ended, because basically I was on maternity leave at the time, and I think it was due to end in the November, and I ended up handing in my notice before it was due to end, and I've never returned to work since. I more than doubled my income as a teacher within those 5 months, and I also went on to win several affiliate contests in a separate program that I was involved in at the time, and became one of their all-time top performing affiliates. So as you can see here, this is me winning several affiliate contests. I've won several more than this, and you can see quite big names on there, especially within the network marketing space. You might be familiar with Tyson Zarna, Bren Blaze from YouTube, Carrie and Whit Hyam. There's Kate McShay on there, Brandy Shaver, Julie Burke. So pretty proud of those accomplishments. And here I am, top left, being asked to coach and being interviewed and do some training with one of my original attraction marketing mentors, which is Fernie Ceballos. You may have seen him on the social medias. And again, I was invited, bottom right there, to come and coach on stage in Vegas and share my skills and experience with lots of people from the network marketing industry, because that really is where a lot of my background and expertise is. So there's me in Vegas. And then fast forward to today, I've now generated over 35,000 leads online, grown to a 6-figure business, and I managed to crack the 10,000 a month mark. So here's me on the all-time leaderboard for one of the affiliate opportunities I was involved with. There's me running a Facebook ad, where you can see there that one Facebook ad generated me over 8,000 prospects, and it generated me $67,000 in commissions. And then in the bottom right, this was an email that I sent once to my email list when it was just at 25,000. I've now generated over 35,000 leads. Okay, I've written several books that have become bestsellers on Amazon, on selling and Instagram. But more importantly, I've created a deep impact through my work. And this is really what gives me the most fulfillment, is when I see others succeeding. So Fleur Massey said here, this is, some students that have worked with me in my programs in the past. She said, this was the best course ever, and I'm only halfway through. Thank you so very much. You are all amazing. Nia's says here, Emma Jones, thank you so much for a fabulous course. We are now armed with immense knowledge that would have taken us as long to learn had we not invested in this course. It's by far the best course I've been on. And then Tammy says here, thank you so much for your passion, dedication, patience, and delivering us a program of knowledge and experience. And she's put, this was by far one of the best programs I've invested in. But it's not just about the money or the accomplishments. It's about getting you the things that you really want in life, and what most people are actually searching for, which is the lifestyle and the time freedom, which is up there as the number one priority, one of the number one priorities for me. So, my business over the years has allowed me to do so many just amazing things with my family, and just create that lifestyle and time freedom that I was always searching for. So this is us in Australia. We've been there quite a few times. My brother lives over in Australia, and this particular time was when he was getting married. So, literally taking like a month off from the business, weeks off at a time, and the business is still running in the background, and being able to just go and have all this quality time and travel, which is another passion of mine with the family. This is me in the middle in the Arizona desert when I was at a coaching event in Vegas. And then this last slide, this slide here in particular, is probably the biggest one for me. My why. My girls, little absolute rascals, who I just created a lifestyle where I work around them. I take them to school every single day. I've picked them up, and I've become so accustomed to this lifestyle of just completely working around them and not missing out on any school activity or after school activity that they've got going on, that I don't think I could ever go back to anything different. So this is truly what it's all about for me, and what I love to help people work towards and achieving their goals when they're looking to create their dream lifestyle. So the 3 steps to consistently grow your business online, attract high quality leads and increase your sales are: step 1, to create a clear content strategy that actually works for you. Okay, so go from uncertainty to clarity with knowing what to actually post to grow your business online, and more importantly, attract high quality leads. So not just attract anybody or anyone, but actually high quality leads for your business or whatever it is you have to offer. Step 2, like I just said there, is to attract higher quality leads. To truly understand what it takes to attract higher quality and avoid the time wasters, the tire kickers that really are just there to waste your time. And then step 3 is then to turn those leads into sales. So once you've got the content out there that is generating you the leads, then you really need to move the needle in your business, which is closing the sales. So become a master closer so you can close way more sales and increase your income. So turn off all distractions and pay close attention, because what I'm about to share, this strategy is time tested and proven, and not just by the years that I've been actually testing it and proving it, but the years before that when my mentors taught some of these skills to me as well. So it works if you're actually prepared to do the work. Okay, so this training is for you if you're a network marketer, an affiliate marketer, or you're in direct sales. So basically, if you sell a product that a lot of other people are also selling, okay? This training's for you if you're a coach or a service provider, if you have a traditional brick and mortar business. Basically, if you need leads and sales for your business, then this training is for you. Okay, so step 1, creating a clear content strategy that works for you and actually gets you results. So today, in this digital age, it really is more easy than ever to grow your business online. We have so many social media sites at our fingertips. Sometimes it actually is a little bit overwhelming, isn't it? You can literally pick, though, and choose which one you want to use or which one you enjoy the most. But the problem is, a lot of people get overwhelmed thinking they need to be on every single one. You've got TikTok, Instagram Reels is now really hot at the moment. Clubhouse is another one that's like the latest thing. And this quickly leads to burnout. Or, because you feel so overwhelmed, you end up being stuck, not actually posting anything at all on these platforms because you feel like you need to be on them all. And perhaps you're even listening to certain gurus who tell you need to be on certain platforms. You need to be using Instagram, you need to be using Facebook, or you really should jump on the TikTok trend. And it can become really, really overwhelming. Well, I'm here to tell you that you can actually do what you like. You have permission to build your business however you see fit. So you have permission to just be on Facebook. If that's your favorite platform and that's the one that gets you the most results, you have permission to just be on Instagram, or even if you just love using TikTok, you can grow your business on whichever platform you choose, however you choose to choose it, okay? So try not to take any notice of these gurus who tell you need to be on one or the other. And the thing is I actually teach my students a time-tested, proven strategy that works across all the platforms. And this is one of the skill sets that I love to have in my arsenal and teach, because it really is your little hidden gem that makes you bulletproof to any algorithm changes or any social media platforms, because it doesn't matter which one you're on. If you apply the skills that I teach, you can apply it to any platform. And it doesn't matter if Facebook decides to change its algorithm, you apply these time-tested strategies, you will still get results. But the problem is, though, when it comes to knowing what to post on the different platforms, most people are actually doing it wrong. They have no strategy whatsoever, and they're just posting hoping something will stick. They haven't really got a clue what they're doing. There's a lot of uncertainty, and they definitely haven't got a strategy. However, your ideal customers, clients, and team members, they're online. They are actually online. But the problem is you're not attracting them to you, okay? And this is a very common mistake, and one that I made when I first started out growing my business online. So as you'll see from this image here, I used to post so many images like this with pictures of the products that I was selling at the time. I used to give the entire game away in my posts, and it used to have the name of the products all over them and everything, okay? If you are constantly posting and talking about your products or your opportunity, because let's be frank, you're not quite sure what else to post about, you're giving the whole game away, okay? Especially if you're in the network marketing space and you're selling products or an opportunity that so many others are. The minute you mention the name of your products, you've lost your potential customer to Google. Okay, there's a lot of things that can happen when you mention the name of your products. They'll know another family member that perhaps is in the same company, and they'll think, oh, I'll go and buy it off them rather than off this person. Or they'll go and Google the name of the products and end up on the company's generic website, or they might end up on a competitor's website, okay? But this is something that I used to do all the time. I'd literally give the whole game away in my posts, which meant I was given no reason for prospects to actually reach out to me in the first place. If you give the whole game away, you're not giving people a reason to reach out to you, okay? And this is one of the biggest reasons why I see people stuck, because they simply do not know what to post to grow their business. They don't know what to be posting on social media. They have no strategy or content plan, and at times they end up giving the whole game away. And the thing is as well, when you're constantly posting about your products or your business or your services and it's just too much, it's too salesy, this is how you can alienate a lot of friends and family and actually push people away, because it raises the resistance barrier instead of lowering it, okay? One of the simplest answers to this is to raise curiosity in your posts, okay? So stop giving the whole game away, and especially naming your products. So as you can see here from one of these posts that I did, compared to the other one, this one had like 2 likes. This one has got an absolute ton of engagement and comments and shares, because I was raising curiosity in this post. I was talking about my products and services, but raising curiosity without actually naming what they were. So people had to reach out to me to get more information. And this is one of the easiest things you can do, especially if you're in network marketing, or like I said before, you sell a product that so many other people do. Stop naming your products in your posts. Instead, give your opinion about the products, raise curiosity about the products, but don't actually mention the name. And this will get people reaching out to you because they will want to know what it is you're talking about. It's one of the easiest things that you can do in your social media posts, okay? Now, when it also comes to building out your content strategy, so your plan on what you're going to post on social media, it is so important to brand you and not your business, okay? Like Oprah said here, I had no idea that being your authentic self could make me as rich as I've become. If I'd have done it a lot earlier. You want to give people a reason to want to join you, okay? And when you're constantly talking about your products or your business, you're branding the business, you're branding the products, and you're sending a lot of people as well off to Google to land on the generic website. You're basically just branding the company and building it for them without getting your share of the commissions, yeah? So it's so important to be authentically yourself and to start to make you the brand. You should be the face of your business. You are the biggest asset that you will ever have. So it's about being authentically yourself in your content strategy. So when you're doing posts on social media, start showing up as you, being unapologetically you, because that is how you start attracting people to you, okay? You have to give people a reason to want to join you. And for them to be able to do that, they have to get to know, like, and trust you. Also, when you start to brand yourself, you separate yourself from every other person in this industry that's all doing the same thing, branding the company, yeah, branding their products. This is how you beat the competition every single time. Doesn't matter what, whether you're a service provider, you're a coach, or you're in the network marketing space, this is how you beat the competition, when you start unapologetically showing up as your authentic self. And it's really not as hard as you think, okay? You could be giving your opinions on your product. You could be sharing helpful information about your product. You could start to become the go-to person around whatever it is you want. So I'll give you an example of a previous student that I had. She was a mental health therapist. So she started branding herself and showing up in her posts on social media, giving people helpful advice around like anxiety and depression. She was creating her whole content strategy, which I helped her to create, was around giving people helpful information with anxiety and depression. And she quickly started attracting people to her because she was showing up as herself and giving helpful information, but without constantly always talking about her service and products. I hope this is making sense, okay? When you create posts, which is basically content that brand you and not your business, people will also start to look at you differently because you're no longer that salesy person. You're basically being you online, okay? So these are some great questions to ask yourself to give yourself some ideas on what you should be posting. Ask yourself, what problems can your product, opportunity, or service solve? So going back to the student who was the mental health therapist, she could help people with anxiety. With her services, she could help people with depression. So she started to think about what problems can I solve for other people? Because I'm going to start turning up and helping people and talking about that rather than just always talking about the service that I provide. Let's talk about how I can help people with their problems, okay? So if you're in a health and wellness company, start talking and creating posts about how to help people with weight loss, not just always talking about your products. Hopefully this is making sense, okay? Ask yourself, what advice will people start looking to you for? Perhaps you'll then become, she's that person that helps me with weight loss. Or she's this person that I always look to her for brilliant education and advice around anxiety. What advice will people start looking to you for? Or are they just looking thinking, oh, she's that salesy person who constantly goes on about her business, constantly goes on about her products, yeah? And ultimately, you want to be asking yourself, why will people choose to follow you and continue to follow you? You have to give them things to stick around, okay? And you do that through like helpful information and answering some of these questions that I've just mentioned on this slide, okay? So this is an important rule to remember, which is the 80-20 rule. And it indicates that 80% of your posts should be useful to your audience, not salesy, okay? Meaning it educates them, it entertains them, it offers a solution to their problems, but only 20% should explicitly promote your business, meaning it refers to a direct sales post. It's like a promotion, a new offer, or a discount. But the problem is most people have that flipped the other way. Yeah. And I see it all the time on social media where 80% of the posts are salesy, 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 buy my thing, join my thing, new offer, discount, freebie giveaway. And there's only 20% that actually might be helpful or educational or providing information where you can offer solutions to other people's problems, okay? Now, this is one of my recent students, Tracy, and this is when you have a structure and a plan for your branding and your content, this is what can change. So this was Tracy here showing up on social media after going through my program and starting to brand herself. And she's in the health and wellness space. And I think this was basically a Facebook Live where she was offering advice around one of her products. So she wasn't directly selling her product. She was just offering like her opinion and her advice. And she was being authentically herself within the video with my coaching. And she said, thanks for this morning, Emma. 2 things I've always struggled with are branding and content. And I feel like I now have a structure and the makings of great content, which is something I struggled with previously, and I'm certainly a lot clearer on the branding. I still have to sell products at the end of the day, but attracting people to me is the way I want to go, rather than tracking down people who may or may not be interested. And then shortly after that, she said, oh, wow, Emma, I wasn't expecting that. I'm pretty excited this morning to get a message from someone who I've been talking to for the last 2 to 3 months. She's now ready to join. So I'm thinking that short video that took me a few days to think about has actually paid off. Okay, so the minute she started doing what I was teaching her and applying, she actually had someone who would jump off the fence and join her in her business. So another really popular question that I get asked a lot is, how often should you post? Okay, when you're creating your content strategy, when I teach my students how to create their content strategy, they often ask, how often should you post? It's a popular question, and it's something that a lot of people get hung up on as well. You know, feeling like they need to post all the time, knowing how many times to post, which is like optimum. However, there's no set rule to this, okay? And that might go against from a lot of things you may have heard before. And it can vary across platforms too. But having said this, this is my definitive answer, okay? Your focus should always be on, number one, first, the quality of your content, okay? It will outweigh how often you should post all day, every day. End of story, okay? I think what a lot of people get hung up on with building and growing their business online is feeling like they need to pump out this constant content all the time. And what tends to happen is you get lazy, you get sloppy, and you'll throw something out for the sake of throwing something out. Or what I see a lot of, especially people in the like network marketing and direct selling space, is they do a ton of these posts, just basically just for engagement, where it's got like nothing to do with the business or the company or branding yourself. It's just totally random, and it might be something where it'll say pick A, B, C, or D. Perhaps you know what I'm talking about, perhaps you don't, but basically there's no quality behind the content. So posts and content that take a little bit more thought and that have quality will out-trump how often you post all the time, okay? So that's the first and foremost thing that you need to be focusing on, is the quality of your content. And the second one, which is the most important, is consistency, okay? Not how many times, but consistency is king. You have to stay consistent above anything else, because if you start by posting several times a day and then you slowly trail off to just a couple of posts per week, you will likely see your rate of user engagement decline, okay? It's more important, this is the key thing to take away now, to be able to keep up with a consistent amount of posts. So if you cannot foresee being able to keep up with multiple posts a day, then it is better to do less and stay consistent. In other words, the best amount of posts for your account is the number that you can keep up with consistently, okay? Inconsistency will hurt your social media growth and your business more than wondering how many times to post ever will, okay? So the question here becomes, how many times do you want to post a day, a week? It's a really important one. It's your business. You build and design it how you want, okay? How many times do you want to be on social media posting a day, a week? Some people enjoy posting several times a day. Some people love sharing most aspects of their day, like via stories, and there's no rules here. You can build your business how you like, but you've got to ask, can you honestly see yourself keeping up with that consistency? If you can't, don't do it. So how many times you should be posting is how many times you can consistently keep up with in your business. So if that's 2 to 3 times a week, that is going to out-trump, posting every single day for a month and then trailing off, or every single day for a week and trailing off. You have to stay consistent, because the algorithms as well on the social media channels, they get used to your consistency. So when you change that, they'll hurt you with your engagement as well. Okay, so, and just a final note on this, I'm speaking from experience here as well. Whenever I've been inconsistent, it's hurt my social media channels, and it takes twice the effort to regain the engagement and momentum back. However, don't also get hung up on this metric. Your focus should be on creating quality content that actually moves the needle in your business. So in other words, it invites conversations, it gets you leads, it gets people on your calendar, it gets people on a Zoom call, on a video chat, and most importantly, sales, yeah? Engagement, likes, and reach, whilst they absolutely do help, they're not the metrics that move the needle in your business, but too many people actually just get hung up on that. But that's not the thing that moves your business forward. So one quality post a week that gets people reaching out to you or people booked on your calendar is way better than several daily that do nothing, that you've just thrown out for the sake of throwing out. So remember, quality plus consistency equals king, okay? Which brings me to step number 2, attracting higher quality leads. How do you attract higher quality leads? Because this is 100% one of the biggest problems I see with a lot of my students when they come to me and they say, I'm recruiting people onto my team. This is more on like the network marketing side of things now, or even service providers actually, where they're bringing people, they're enrolling people into their programs, but then they don't do anything. Yeah. So how do you attract higher quality people? The first thing you need to do is shift your focus. First of all, you need to realize that you need to stop chasing everyone and get really clear and specific on your ideal customer or client. Everyone is not your ideal customer or client. So stop going after everyone who shows just even the slight bit of interest in your business, okay? And this comes with more confidence and posture and skill set to know how to do this as well. But the way to start out is to get really clear on and specific on your ideal customer or client. So make a list of their attributes. Get clear on who you want to actually work with. Who is your ideal customer? Who do you want on your team? What attributes do your perfect clients have? Make a list of it. Because when you get clear on, oh, actually, yeah, this is the type of person that I want to work with. This is the type of person I want on my team. These are the type of customers that I want to attract. It makes it easy to be able to do that because you know the end result, okay? Once you get clear on who your ideal customer or client is and how you can help them, you can then start creating content to serve this audience and thus target and attract the right people. And one of the easiest ways to do this, if you're not sure on who your ideal customer or team member is to look at your existing customers, team members and clients. Make a list of them, okay? And start to think, what do they have in common? Is there something that they have in common? Are they all like a certain age range? Are they all like from a certain profession? There could be so many commonalities here, but make a list of who your existing customers, team members and clients are. Where do they like to hang out online? That should be an absolute huge clue as to where you should be spending a bit more time to attract them to you as well, okay? What age range are they? What are their interests? Once you know this information, you can start to create posts/content, it's the same thing, to attract these people to you, okay? So another really important thing when you're trying to attract higher quality people to you, a lot of it is in your messaging. And what I mean by that, it's your copy on your post. It's what you actually write on your posts on social media, okay? So here's a little case study. Here's Janie. She's an independent travel agent. And when she first came to me, she wasn't clear on how to attract higher quality leads. And she was creating posts that were just way, way, way too vague. So if you create posts that are weak in the messaging, meaning it's really too vague and it's not clear what you do. For example, if you're throwing posts out there on social media that just say like, who would like to work from home? Expect to attract everyone and their dog to what it is you're doing. Or if you're constantly relying on like freebie giveaways, all these contests and competitions, or giving away samples of your product, this is also going to attract a ton of people who may not be your ideal prospects. Because have you ever noticed when you give if you do a free consultation or you do a free giveaway or a sample giveaway, you attract a ton of freebie seekers? Yeah. So if you're too vague in your posts, you're going to attract vague, okay? So once you get clear on your ideal customers and you adjust your messaging accordingly to attract like-minded people, for example, I might do a Facebook Live talking about how I love to work with driven female business owners, because guess what? It will attract driven female business owners to me because that's what I'm talking about within my content. And as you can see here, once Janie applied the trainings that I teach inside my signature program, the Business Success Blueprint, as you can see here, she started enrolling people for fun into her team. In fact, she told me she was having to turn people away. And this was just within a few short weeks of joining and going through the program. So as you can see here, she said, I just wanted to say how grateful I am. Due to this amazing coaching, I went live on my profile following your attraction marketing structure and advice. Not only did I get lots of people reaching out to me, but I've had an inquiry for a group booking too. This stuff works. And then she started messaging in the private group, and she was like, I got another teamie last night. feel like I am such a good space right now. And then the next thing, I was asking her, how many new business partners have you had now since joining the program? And she put 4, and within like a couple of hours, she was like, it's now 5. So, it's once she got really clear and was applying these strategies within her social media posts to attract higher quality people, she was then actually bringing people onto her team for fun. Okay. So another thing that Janie was doing, and which I teach my students to do, is, posture is everything. When it comes to attracting higher quality leads, posture is so important. And, this is the posture, like Janie was saying there, to be able to turn people away as well. Imagine that in your business where you actually say no to clients, or you say no to people joining your team because you know they're not right. Is that a position that you would love to be in? Yeah. So posture within your posts, you want to be showing posture within your posts to attract higher quality leads in the first place, but then also having posture when you're prospecting them to try to close the sale, which brings me nicely into step 3. So once you've attracted these people to you and you've actually got a prospect, we need to move the needle in the business now and turn those leads into sales. So it's about having a clear strategy in place, a step-by-step blueprint to close more sales. And this is probably the most important step, because this is the part where you move the needle in your business. Yet so many people ignore this step because they get too hung up on the metrics that simply don't matter, like your follower count, how many followers you've got, how many likes you've got, how many likes you got on your last post. That stuff doesn't move. It doesn't get you to your next rank advance if you're in network marketing. It doesn't increase your income. It doesn't get you new customers or clients, okay? It's about being able to have a skill set to close those prospects. So it's closing sales, whether that's a new customer, team member, or a client. Whatever you have to offer is really where you grow your business. But the problem I see with selling is a lot of people avoid it because it either makes them feel icky, awkward, or inauthentic. So instead, they use copy and paste scripts, or worse, they'll self-sabotage the sale, or they'll avoid it altogether. And a lot of the time when I'm coaching students around when they're stuck with selling, they are self-sabotaging without even realising, which is a tough one to become aware of, because a lot of it is subconscious and you don't realise you're actually doing it. But one thing's for sure, if you want to consistently grow your business online and increase your sales, then you need to have some closing skills under your belt, even if they're basic. Even if you're sending a prospect off to a 3-way call or a presentation or your website, you still need some skill set around being able to take the prospect from interested in a conversation to saying yes. Okay, so I have a formula called the Conversations That Close formula, and it looks like this. Okay, first of all, you need to get rid of the copy and paste scripts, because they're not authentic and they won't sound like you, and that's probably one of the reasons why you feel icky. Because selling isn't about tips and tricks and gimmicks. It's about being authentic and having authentic conversations with your prospect, and actually genuinely helping them. And that's why I love my formula, and I love teaching my formulas to students, because they go from hating sales to loving. They're like, I can't wait to talk to my next prospect, because it's just a lovely conversation, and that's what selling and closing actually should be, not this icky thing that we fear. So one of the main things you need to actually be looking to do is to be yourself, and it's hard to do that if you're doing copy and paste scripts, yeah. And the second bubble here really is the secret to closing and being able to get people to go from interested to saying yes, and that is asking questions, okay? So not you getting on a Zoom call or a video chat or whatever it is you do to close your prospect and then blurting all this information at them about your product or your service or your opportunity, to the point where you're like throwing up all over them, because a confused mind never buys. And what is actually happening when you do that is you're scaring them away, and you're leaving them confused and extremely overwhelmed when you are basically, when a prospect comes to you and asks for more information and you basically just give it to them, plus in bucket loads, yeah? So the secret is to actually ask questions, ask qualifying questions that take your prospect on a journey through that conversation to get them closer to saying yes. Because it's so important when you're closing a sale to listen more than you talk, okay? The person who is talking is the one that is buying. So you need to make sure that it's your prospect that's doing most of the talking, not you. So that's why when you're blurting all this information at them, that's why you're probably losing the sale, because you're doing most of the talking and not your prospect. So how do you get your prospect to do most of the talking? You continue to ask the right questions, okay? And one of the easiest questions you can ask at the very beginning of your call is to say, okay, so what got you interested in my service? Or what got you interested in my product? And let them start to tell you and convince themselves, okay? Another part to the formula is to ask the right questions where you get your prospect into an emotional state. So not a logical state, because when people are in a logical frame of mind, they don't actually buy, even though you think that's what it is that makes people buy your product or whatever it is you have to offer. You know, they're thinking logically. It's not. People buy out of emotions. People buy for emotional reasons, okay? So once you've got them in that emotional frame of mind, you then go in for the close. And if if you have to overcome some objections, then that's where you overcome some objections, but make sure that you also follow up, because the fortune is in the follow-up. And again, I see too many people or so many students that come to me at the beginning before they go through my program where they'll get a no and then they leave it. That's it. They don't even take the prospect's information. They just go on to the next person. But the fortune is in the follow-up, yeah? And being able to continually stay in front of that prospect until they're ready to buy. So here's some really important rules to remember when trying to close the sales or getting your prospect to say yes. Your prospect is doing most of the talking, not you. I just mentioned this in the previous slide, but it actually should be about 70 to 30%. Them speaking 70% of the time, you speaking 30%. So if you're being really honest with yourself now, think about the last time you spoke to a prospect with whatever it is that you do and think, okay, was that true? Was I the one doing 70% of the talking and them 30%? If so, that needs to be flipped on its head, okay? Now, the more we talk about features and benefits, which is what most people do when they're trying to close a prospect, it actually confuses the prospect. It just makes them overwhelmed. And actually, they don't really care about the features and benefits. They care about what it can do for them, not what ingredients are in it or not this, that, and the other. They want the end result, okay? Now, another important rule to remember. If you're talking and trying to convince, stop talking and ask another question, because remember, the person doing the talking is buying. And also, when it comes to convincing, which is what so many people do, especially in the network marketing space and industry, I still get messages to this day where people will message me and say, come join my ground floor opportunity, blah, blah, blah. We're in so many countries. It just doesn't work, okay? If you find yourself trying to convince, you need to stop talking and remember this phrase. People buy for their reasons, not yours, okay? So if you think your thing is the best thing since sliced bread for this prospect, it doesn't matter. It's about what they think. So you've got to ask questions to let them uncover for themselves what their reasons are. People buy for their reasons, not yours. So stop assuming on those sales calls, okay? Let them discover it for themselves through your questions. And like I said before, one of the easiest questions to start out with is, okay, so tell me what had you interested in my opportunity, or what was it that got you interested in my product? Let them tell you their reasons, and let them also discover it for themselves through your questions. Because when the prospect hears themselves saying the reason why they want to join for themselves, this equals the money. This equals where you move the needle in your business, because it's like a psychological thing. They hear themselves saying, oh, well, actually, I saw that like skincare product you're promoting, and I just really, I'm not confident in my skin at the moment. I've lost my confidence and I just want to get it back. Okay? And when they hear themselves saying that, it's powerful. And the thing is, if you hadn't have asked that question, you could have then started giving them all this information about this feature about your product, and it might not have had anything to do with confidence. Yeah, you might have been talking about how it helps do this and it helps do that, but actually People buy for their reasons, not yours. I hope this is making sense. And here's some testimonials and case studies from people, again, who've been through the Business Success Blueprint, and specifically the training on the Conversations That Close, which is my entire process on how to get more of your prospects to say yes and increase your sales. So Jo is a mental health therapist, and she said, selling myself makes me cringe. Like what I said before, a lot of people hate selling because it feels icky. After joining Emma's program, I've learned about providing information that is authentic, that adds value, that makes it easier for people to get in touch. And if you have a business and struggle with marketing or selling, join Emma's program. It's well worth it. It has made a huge difference to me, both personally and professionally. And Janie said, the structure that you give makes it so easy, and suddenly it all makes perfect sense. Selling and this whole process does not have to be rocket science. It's actually quite simple and just authentic conversation. And she's put some real light bulb moments. And Rachel, following the question approach, she literally just applied one of the questions that I teach within the program. She sold a month of one product and a trial of the other. Katrina, a holistic coach, said, Emma teaches so clearly this training is a step-by-step guide on how to get clients. I've been following it like a Bible, and I've made more since applying this than I ever have. And Noble Fox, who's a therapist, said, I've been a therapist in business for the last couple of years, and things have been a little slow, but this training has really helped me get new customers and close more deals. I was making so many schoolboy errors without even knowing it, and this training has opened my eyes and helped me double my business. So I just gave you my 3-step formula strategy, but as I'm sure you can imagine, this is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to attracting endless quality leads and sales for your business online. However, you actually have to take action to make it work. And you already made the decision to make that change because you're here on this training and you've made it to this point as well. So your experience level at this point, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're a total newbie, if you've been building your business online for some time. It's all about taking one step at a time and following the steps that work, okay? So here's what others have had to say about my Business Success Blueprint program. So Janie, she's an independent travel agent, said, despite having built a fairly substantial team, I was searching for more clarity around what's working now in the industry and proven techniques I could use to grow my business. Working with Emma was everything I hoped for. Emma's no-nonsense approach and hand-holding through the process was exactly what I needed. The structure that Emma gives makes it so easy, and suddenly it all makes perfect sense. I've already had increased interest not only in the service I offer, but also amongst people interested in joining the team, and had my first tangible leads using Instagram. If you're looking for structure and clarity in your business and you'd like to learn what is working right now in a practical and structured way, then I would have no hesitation in recommending this program. And Rachel, who's in health and wellness space, said she was so glad she stepped out of her own head, followed her gut and joined this program. And Nia put, I've had training from one of the top Facebook gurus, and your training is so much easier to understand. You are giving us so much value and it's really personable. She loves the community feel we have built here, and says that I'm a star, bless her. So I am on a mission to help you grow your business online, to remove the headache seriously and the overwhelm, and give you the exact process to follow to truly get the results you desire in your business. Because I was stuck once and I know what it feels like to not be growing and to not be progressing. So I want to give you the exact process to follow to truly get the results you desire in your business. And that's what my Business Success Blueprint program is all about. I have taken the entire process from start to finish in generating quality leads on demand using social media and turning those leads into sales, and I've put it all into this program. Why? Because the biggest issue I see with people trying to build their business online is they've got no guidance, or they've got the wrong guidance. They're overwhelmed, they're frustrated, lacking support, and they're uncertain about what they should actually be doing to get results. They've got no clue about actual online marketing skills that really makes a difference. And I want you to have the best possible chance of a successful business because I've been through it. And I'm coming at this with years of experience and hours, which I wouldn't even like to know how many, upon hours of testing and finding the things that actually work. However, I'm also really specific when it comes to who I choose to work with. The better the fit, the better the results. So I'm building a legacy business, and I don't just want any client. I want to work with the right clients. But the fact that you've made it this far into the training shows me that you tick a lot of the boxes. So I have a question for you. Would you like to work with me inside my signature program, the Business Success Blueprint? Let me show you how the process works, okay? First of all, this is for network marketers, direct sellers, online coaches, consultants, and business owners. Basically, if you want to grow your business online and you need leads and sales for your business, this is for you. And understand, this is for you if you understand that investing in your personal growth and having some skin in the game is the only way to truly grow and not stay stuck. And this is also for you if you're an action taker and you're actually going to implement the information within the program, because the students who have gotten the best results from going through my program, I know it doesn't sound complicated, but they're the ones that took action. And I've purposely designed the program for you. After each module, you have to take action with what I've implemented so you can actually start getting results as you're going through the program, okay? If this sounds like you, I want to personally invite you to apply to see if you qualify for a call to enroll in the Business Success Blueprint program. I've set aside time on my calendar to talk to you and see if I can help. The call is about 30 minutes long, and the intention is just to simply understand your business, your goals, based on the information in your application, and identify how and if we're a fit to work together inside my program. There's nothing scary about this chat. It's just an informal chat. It's just me on the other end of Zoom. You don't even need your camera on, getting to know more about you and seeing if my program would basically be a good fit for you and your business. So you can apply now. There should be a link below this video that you can click to apply for the program. Once I provide you with the link, which should be below this video, be sure to apply now, because my calendar and schedule can only handle a really small number of calls, and I wouldn't want you to miss out, okay? Here's what I know to be true. I would not be where I am today without investing in working with the people who were where I wanted to be, and constantly investing in myself to grow in my skill set. So my question for you is, where do you want to be in the next 6 to 12 months? So you can apply now by clicking the button below this video, or you can visit www.successwithemmajones.com/apply, and I would love to speak with you. So just some final testimonials before we wrap this up. Anna said, learning how to better build businesses online, creating social media funnels, along with time-tested attraction marketing skills, exceptional training. This is definitely where you need to be for all your targeted education training on how to better brand and market your business for growth and ROI. Excited to be guided on this learning journey to success with Emma. Fran says, awesome inspirational coach and mentor. Take your business online, build it the right way. She has a wealth of knowledge to offer. Nia says, such an inspirational coach, always providing fabulous up-to-date information and support. Debbie says, Emma, I cannot thank you enough for all the awesome training you've given me. I couldn't have asked for a better mentor. My online business has come on leaps and bounds. Thank you. And Heather says, it's inspirational lady who helps people on their journey to success. Wealth of experience and ability to break down each step so it feels achievable. Tammy says, I have so much to thank this lady for. Awesome content and guidance and always. Jim says, is very down to earth, spot on the mark with attraction marketing and adding value first. Then to see if pitching is even something you want to do. And as you can see, there's a few more testimonials on there as well. So I'd love to speak to you to see if you're a right fit for the program. So simply click the button below this video, or you can visit www.successwithemmajones.com/apply. And yeah, I'd love to speak to you soon.